Hi, this is Tony once more. My wife couldn't join me because she wasn't feeling well, but I do hope that you took a look at my first video that we produced, in which we introduced ourselves and we gave a little bit of the background of my problem with depression. Today I want to talk about the subject of becoming good by doing good. We all have been told that it is better to give than to receive. Now, at first in our lives, giving is unnatural. We are born egocentrically. By that I mean we look out for number one. When we receive milk from our mommy, we think about me, me, me. That's all that counts. As we get older, we become more mature, and we start thinking of philosophical questions. Where did I come from? What is this life all about? And we start thinking about maybe things in life will make us happy. And we come to the conclusion that it is actually an empty concept, a hollow promise. For example, a lot of the people in Hollywood, they seem to amass a fortune, and yet many of them are not very happy. So then I made a quantum leap in my understanding of happiness. The year was 1976. I had finished a course in physical therapy, and I was doing an internship in Mason City, Iowa. My instructor was on vacation, and he allowed me to stay in his house. And one Sunday afternoon, I was by myself in a big house, and I felt sorry for myself. I was in my late 20s. I had no girlfriend, and I felt kind of bored, felt kind of down. And then a thought occurred to me: is there somebody that is worse off than me? And I thought of one lady in particular who was at the hospital where I had worked all week. She had nobody in this world that visited her, so I thought, well, maybe I will go see her and see if that makes a difference. I went to see her, and my whole worldview changed. I realized that my petty problems were nothing compared to hers. I made a discovery that it is more blessed to give than to receive. And this is an intellectual concept until we experience it in our lives. And so I started reading about that, and there is a field of psychology that is called positive psychology that is headed by Dr. Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania. And I have read a little bit about it. I'm no expert, but they have done studies, and the studies indicate that the happiest people are those who devote their lives to caring for others rather than focusing on themselves. And the example that they give, for example, is, talking to homeless people, people that volunteer at hospitals or different organizations, an act as simple as being courteous in traffic. Those are deeds of kindness that actually lift us out of our depressed mood. It was further discovered that helpers are less likely to be depressed and more likely to be happy. It was estimated that those who give contributions of time and money are 42% more likely to be happy than those who don't give. In other words, when we put others before ourselves, we become happier people. I have heard of a study that was done about deeds of kindness. And they found out that the recipients of a deed of kindness had an increase in serotonin in their body. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that is found in the central nervous system that when it is in low supply to the body, we become depressed. When it is at optimum levels, we are happy people. And so even when we take antidepressant medications, they are designed to increase the serotonin in our body and make us less depressed. So the recipients of a deed of kindness had an increased level of serotonin. The creators of a deed of kindness also had an increase of serotonin in their body. But what is even more amazing is that the people that witnessed the deed of kindness also had an increase of serotonin. Just imagine, the recipients, the creators of the deed of kindness, and the witnesses all felt better because somebody was kind to another person. And I'm reminded of 9/11, when the tragedy happened in New York City, and we saw a fire truck filled with firemen driving from Iowa to New York, and they were only trying to help the people in New York. When we saw those people being altruistic, we felt all better for having witnessed that. So there is a concept in psychology, and it's called the helper's high. And basically, it is a feeling of euphoria that comes over us when we help a person in need. A few years ago, my wife and I decided to go to a mission school that is located on the California-Mexican border. A school where poor Mexican students come, they cross the border every day to go to school, and they like to go to school there because at this American school they learn English, and they figure that if they know English well, it will help them to succeed in life. Well, a lot of poor students go there, and my wife and I, we decided to make some donations to this school. I had heard that if we look in our closet and we see all the clothes hanging in our closet, there's probably a few pieces of clothing that we don't wear anymore. And so the suggestion was made to give those clothes to somebody in need. But another suggestion was also made that they said, look at the most prized piece of clothing that you have. And I looked at my closet and I saw a leather jacket. A jacket that was given to me by my mom in Europe. It was a beautiful jacket. And it had emotional value. And I said, well, maybe I should part with this jacket. So we put all the clothes in the trunk of our car, and my wife, who had had a business of educational materials, she had some leftovers in the garage, and we piled all that into the car and we drove to the California-Mexican border. When we arrived there, we were very well received by an administrator of the school, and also we met a mother, a single mother of 2 children that went to school there, and we were able to give those clothes to her. She in turn would use those clothes and sell them at a marketplace in Mexico to earn money so that her kids could stay in a Christian school. She was very appreciative and very thankful for the gift that we gave to her. To the school we gave the educational supplies, and the administrator was thrilled that we had shown ourselves generous in this aspect. In Corinthians 9 verse 7, God says He loves a cheerful giver. And I would like to give a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he says, "It is one of the most beautiful compensations of this life that no man can sincerely help another without helping himself." Earlier I talked about Dr. Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania. He did an experiment. He got a group of university students together on a Saturday night, and he says, let's do an experiment. He says, first we will watch a movie of your choosing, and then after that we will go to the park and we will talk to homeless people. I want your honest opinion, and I want you to tell me what makes you happier, watching a movie or talking to homeless people. You probably guessed the outcome of that study. The students unanimously stated that they were happier talking to homeless people than watching a movie. I would say reach out and touch a person in need and see what it does to you. Maybe, just maybe, I can almost assure you that it will lift your spirits, that it will make you less depressed, and it may make a happy camper out of you as it did to me. Of course, I also hope that you take a look at my website, provendepressioncure.com, where we talk about a natural product that has a money-back guarantee, totally natural, and requires no prescription from a doctor. Try these suggestions, and I hope they will work for you as well as they did for me.